Good evening. Spring is finally in full bloom. That also means that there's an increased threat of natural disasters like wildfires or tornadoes. Emergency officials want you to be prepared in the event that you have to take shelter or evacuate. Kim Smith has the details.
From flooding to grass fires, our region has already been dealing with its fair share of weather-related emergencies. Officials say the extreme weather is a good reminder to be prepared.
If you are in an area that's prone to wildfire or to flooding or indeed tornadoes or any other sort of hazard, you really should know about those risks and then make a plan.
This is Emergency Preparedness Week. The provinces and municipalities are encouraging us to be aware of our surroundings.
Pay attention to the weather. And we know that we live in a province, in a part of the country that is susceptible to some extremes in weather.
Having an evacuation plan for weather-related incidences is one thing, but the City of Lloydminster is also asking residents to be ready if some sort of spill or leak causes the air to be contaminated.
But if it's just something that is safer to keep you inside, away from those fumes and things like that, then a shelter in place is really effective.
One way to protect yourself is shelter in place. Basically, you just have to stay in one room and seal up all the cracks around doors and windows. The city says it's important to ensure all air exchange units are closed.
So if you have a clothes dryer running, kitchen fans, bathroom fans, anything that exchanges air with the outside, we want you to turn that off. As well as if there's a fan, for example, a bathroom fan, if that's where you're taking shelter, you put some plastic and duct tape over that and seal it.
Make sure you have a radio in the room that you've taken shelter in so you can listen to updates on the local stations.
It's really good for something short term and to keep you safe from any toxic chemicals or whatever outside, because our houses are really well insulated.
The city has never had to enact a shelter in place, but with the industries we have in this area, it doesn't hurt for residents to be prepared.
Hazardous material incidents can happen anywhere. There's lots of different transportation going all across Canada that are carrying all different things. So it is an important thing to know and just keep in the back of your mind so that if that does happen, you know what to do.
If people adopt more of an attitude of it's not if but perhaps when, then they'll be much better off.
Kim Smith, Newcap News.
And as part of Emergency Preparedness Week, first responders gathered for their annual charity barbecue. Anna Stanislaw was there and has more.
Flashlights are just one important component when preparing an emergency kit. And for this father of two, he believes it is something everyone needs to think about.
Well, I have my first aid kit there, and then other than that, we have some canned food and some bottled water, basically. But I'm sure I could definitely do a better job of being prepared as well. So it's a bit of an eye-opener to on things that I need to improve as well. So.
The more prepared you are, the easier it's going to be to recover.
There are also other ways to be prepared. The Lloydminster Emergency Care Services run 2 programs residents can use.
The Vital Life, to start with, is a program that we use to get medical information from clients when they're unable to maybe speak for themselves or unsure of all the information that they may have.
The container has a piece of paper in it with your personal information. Kendall says you should put this vial in a visible place like your refrigerator or in your glove box. There is also the In Case of Emergency app, or ICE, for your smartphone.
If we have a collision out there and we have somebody in the vehicle that is unconscious and that we find their cell phone, we can look up the ICE information.
You can download the ICE app for free.
We need to be able to have the information so that when we're doing our assessments, we need to know what previous history, what changes there's been from previous to now with the patient.
Proceeds from today's event go to the Lloydminster Sexual Assault and Information Centre. Anna Stanislaw, Newcap News.
Emergency Care Services will have the Vial of Life and ICE stickers at public events, or you can call their office for more information. Well, it's time to open your wallet for a good cause. McHappy Days are upon us again. Now, $1 from every Happy Meal, Big Mac, and McCafe sold goes to various children charities, including the Ronald McDonald House. Now, an important cause, according to McDonald's. More than 30 families in our region used Ronald's House last year. Bart Pediasic has more.
Hundreds of hungry border city citizens braced the long lineups to help raise money for the Ronald McDonald House. Marvin Shiner and his family know the house all too well. They helped house him and his family after his daughter Emily was diagnosed with a rare chromosome disorder.
A little over the first year of her life, we were staying at the Ronald McDonald House, first in Saskatoon, then we moved on down to Calgary, and before her release home, we had a short stay in Edmonton.
And according to Shiner, it was more than just a place to stay.
You can talk to doctors and counselors and all that all day long, but until you sit with another dad who's going through a similar experience, that guy understands what you're going through.
They're all together. The families are always all together. That's the key part, is that nobody's left at home. Everybody's all together at the house.
Coverett helps run the house in Saskatoon and says McHappy Days makes up a big portion of their budget every year.
From this McDonald's Day, McHappy Day last year, we received over $100,000. And this year we're hoping at least $100,000 again from all the owner-operators in Saskatchewan and Alberta.
And local area celebrities took time out of their schedule to help out the cause. Deputy Mayor Rob Saunders says even City Hall got in on the action.
One of our staff members is quite the baker, and she's always baking different unique things. And for this occasion, she baked this, hamburger, McDonald's burger, and it is a cake that you can eat.
Saunders says city workers bid on the cake and raised over $200 for the charity. And as Shiner explains, every little bit helps for families like his.
And it's one less thing you have to worry about. You spend your days fighting and advocating for your child and hoping things turn out well. You have a place to stay.
McDonald's Canada hopes to raise up to $2 million to help support Ronald McDonald houses across the country, with funds from this location going to help support houses in both Edmonton and Saskatoon. Bart Pediasic, Newcap News.